Hello everyone, it's me, Lila, and I thought I'd pop on with a short video just to explain a couple of things since I have been fairly absent from all forms of social media. And I have a lot of clients saying to me, well, if you open the school next year, are you seeing people one-on-one? Are you still healing? And so I thought I'd come along. Um, I'm sitting in my husband's office today because the lighting is better and also because the cats are sitting in my office, taking up the space. Um, so I think I need to just clarify my initiative for 2025, what I will be offering, and my role as a healer and guide. For the last 10 years, I have been practicing and running my own business as a healer. I left corporate IT after 24 years and stepped into immediately offering healings. It was quite a change at that time, as you can imagine, since I was heading up a team of 25 people when I was in IT corporate, and I had people that could, do the things, implement things, support me on certain tasks, and then stepping into the realm where my support team were mostly unseen. And you can hear my emails going off, so I'm just going to close it. And I remember walking in the forest, raising my hands to the skies, saying, so what now? Do I wait? Do I continue? And I was at that time, my guides have always really had a sense of humor. And when I say guides, there have been many different beings that have helped me on this journey. And of course, my soul's aspect, my highest wisdom has always been part of that. And they just said, well, this is a bit of an upgrade for you, a bit of a promotion. You are used to seeking out bugs in computer programs and designing enterprise systems. Now you're being upgraded or promoted to work on the human system. So to remove bugs and ultimately to upgrade the human system. And I think that's how my work progressed, is that when I first started healing, there was a lot of clearing that I was offering, whether it was alien implants, whether it was a soul retrieval, whether it was thought forms in the client's field, negative interference from other people, from other beings. So there was a lot of work in my early healing career of clearing. And I have continually been advised, guided in all of my work by my soul's wisdom, connecting through to the highest aspect of source and then all the light beings. And so I began to feel more and more comfortable with being able to just intuit or receive the answers and guidance as I work. So there was, the preparation in terms of meditative preparation and me being aligned and in tune and open-hearted before a client session. But I became more and more familiar with just opening with the heart and opening the space. And less working with the mind, less working with, oh my gosh, am I going to do this properly? And always holding the intention for the highest good and healing. So along those 10 years, through my client work, through all of my meditations, I have continued with my own evolutionary journey and being guided to continue to say yes to certain things. So I would do house clearings, I would run shamanic drumming journeys, I would run healing circles, I offered courses as I was inspired to do. And so all of this really kind of has offered me the tools to the point where I am now, which is, Lila, you need to start a school. And so the School of Spiritual Alchemy really is focusing on the principles of soul embodiment. What do I mean by that? I mean that there is a lot of preparatory work we need to do within our physical body, our emotional, mental, and spiritual bodies that make up the light body, the tree of life body that holds our physical incarnation in its presence, in order to open up and allow for the delivery of the highest wisdom of the soul. So it's a process, and in some ways it is a kind of sequential process, but there's also a rising up and a landing, and a rising up and a landing, and each time the rising up to gather more wisdom from the soul, that energy comes in, the light comes in, clears, makes a pathway, new things arise, and then we work with that. So I have also come to really recognize, and it has been highlighted to me by a couple of beautiful beings, that my authority is in the realms of the soul. It's where I work. So my work is guided by your soul, but it is also supported and guided by the process of allowing the vehicle of your soul, because for me it's more a vehicle, to drop in to offer you higher vibrationary healing forms, sacred geometry, light codes that assist with bringing more of that into your space. So from moving from a place of just offering healing, and no disrespect to all of those deep, intense healings that some of you have received, but building up the awareness to actually the process that is the most important process that each of us who is on the awakening or the spiritual journey needs to focus on right now, and that is, what are we asked to do in order to prepare, to open, to make way for the soul, ultimately to move through all the underworlds of our own shadows, to connect into the Mother Earth, see the highest aspect of yourself delivered through the vehicle of your soul, and to rise up from that place. And just as the seed, the acorn, needs to crack open before it rises up, there is still a process once the seeding of the soul has happened that we need to really work with aspects of removing layers, perceptions, beliefs, thought forms of who we thought we are. So one of the earlier processes might be the ego dissolution, but the latter process is just as important. When you start to connect into the deeper layers is once the seeding is available that you can crack open even more. So this process of soul embodiment, my authority in the realms of the soul, being able to talk to, connect to, heal, is my speciality, I suppose. And so the School of Spiritual Alchemy, with its first intake of students for the 2-year program next year, they are already booked in. But I have a short course, a 6-month program that I'll be offering, and even more, I think, more short courses. And once my website is live, it's pretty much ready, but there's a slight technical hiccup we're just trying to sort. Then all the information will be on there. But in addition to that, I will be offering one-on-ones. I don't as yet have space in my new home for that. So the one-on-ones will be remote healing, where we don't get cluttered by the stories in the mind, that you just offer me your full name and date of birth, and then I work with the element aspect of your soul. Whatever your soul feels is necessary to be cleared, disconnected, raised awareness for, in order to allow the vehicle of your soul to deliver more of that highest expression. And then my online readings will be limited. They will be online, but they will also focus on what is necessary in order for you to receive more of your soul's wisdom, to open up, to allow the vehicle of the soul to move through. And it is a kind of bouncing, the ascension process, as it's been termed, for me is not straightforward. It's not suddenly you ascend and you connect into the spiritual and all is hunky-dory. You ascend up in a sense that you connect to higher vibrations, be it in the spiritual realms or the realms of your soul. But then there is always an incoming of that. There is always a descension of that knowledge, of that wisdom, of that light into the realms of the more dense physical, mental, emotional fields. And then if you allow that, once that has stabilized, there's another rising up, opening to the soul self, delivering more information, coming through, moving through the deeper layers, rising up. And so the spiraling, the golden spiraling in of the soul really begins to prepare the space for the landing, for the seeding. But it's a lifetime's worth of work, right? It's a lifetime's worth of work. Excuse the noise in the background. I think that's my washing machine. And so this process is what I will guide and assist you with. The process of soul embodiment is what I have been told by my guides that I should focus on, that I should offer information on, offer support on. And, during a dream in 2020, when I dreamt of a white rose and Isis and a big tome, a book, it started me on a journey of connecting into my ancient wisdom. And it found a Kabbalah teacher for me in France. And once I saw those Hebrew letters, they started talking to me. So stepping into this new realm now where the Egyptian codes are talking to me, it's a really, it's a deeply sacred path. And I need to honor the fact that this is not necessarily something I'm going to share with you that's written in any books. That it is my soul's journey to continue my own work, to receive in that information, to assimilate it, and to share it from my heart and soul so that it can assist you in this journey of soul embodiment. Because we have to become spiritual humans. We have to become humans whose every thought, action, behavior is driven from the realms of the highest mother principle and guided through our soul. Because if we are working, moving, if we are animated from that, we can do no harm. And it might sound like an impossible task, but it is our only task. Because once humans begin to realize that we carry this life force, that we have a responsibility to ensure that our field is open and clear to receive this life force, so that we can become animated by the highest principles of peace, harmony, justice, respect, and all those beautiful things. That is the only way humanity is going to survive going forward. We are not meant to go on a path of the technological human. That is just going to cause more chaos, more segregation, and the shutting down of the crown and the higher energy centers that are going to bring in this knowledge. So we're not staying in the realms of the artificial intelligence of the mind. That is collapsing. We are asked to reach up into the highest aspect of self, to make way and open to the soul, to the vehicle of the soul, and receive wisdom that will help us heal and move forward. And for me, it has been deeply ingrained by all of my transmissions in the last few months that it is in the physical realm, it is through the body that the soul can heal, that the soul can ascend. And so all of the spiritual, teachings that tell you only to stay in the spiritual space are not necessarily the correct ones or supportive of us moving forward in our evolution. Earth realm, Mother Earth, the Mother Principle, Mother Goddess, Father Son, all of the cosmic principles are held within sacred geometric timelines and potentials that allow us to use this dimensional experience, third dimensional experience, to transcend, to move towards the divine human, the human inspired by spirit and soul, the new human. And so all of my teachings are going to be around that. And I think I've rambled on enough again. If you have any questions, please message me. I'm here. There is a lot going on now for me at the end of the year. My daughter and her new husband are coming out. We're having big family celebrations for their wedding. They will be here until middle of January. And my school starts up towards the end of February. And once the website is live, all the events I'll be offering will be on there. You can book. And I hope to see you in some of my group talks. The other exciting news, if you've managed to stay to the end, you're treated with this piece of exciting news, is that all systems are go for a tour to Egypt next year. Ptah, Isis, Sekhmet, they're all calling me. And we are arranging together with a beautiful American client of mine who is of Egyptian descent to take a small group to some very special temples for deeply sacred soul embodiment work. So if you're interested in that, look out for my website, drop me an email, and we'll pop you on the newsletter. So thank you to my husband Space for holding me during this time. Thank you to all of you for listening, and I really do wish you gentleness during this time. Know that your work, any work you are doing on increased self-awareness and healing is very important. And we're hitting a critical time where we really need to remain deeply committed, disciplined, and focused on our journey of soul led humans, the new human. Bye for now.